what is the abortion industry's opinion of men? Life Dynamics Director of Research Mona Pasignano is here with a quick look at that question. Hello, Mona. How are you?
Fine.
The abortion industry always talks about how warm and fuzzy they are and how family-friendly and they support relationships. Do they really have a high opinion of men?
Well, we'll let them talk for themselves because I think it's much better when you hear them. We're going to listen to some clips, and we're going to listen to quite a few, and some of them will be back-to-back. But first, just tell you, this is from a 1991 National Abortion Federation conference held in Chicago. And it is, when they have national abortion conferences, they separate, they have general assemblies, and then they separate into medical people go here, counselors go here, administrators. This is a counseling session, so all these counselors are all together talking about their view of men, and that's exactly what the whole session's on. And this is a moderated session, but all the women can just come up to the microphone and say whatever they want, so we're not going to identify any of the women. We know who some of them are just because of their voice, but we're not going to identify any of them. But what happens is the moderator, Wayne Pulaski, he's going to give a question, and the first question he's going to say is, a man should be notified when a woman's going to have an abortion. Well, everybody, right, when a woman's going to abort his baby, right. And the women all go to the no side. A man should not need to be notified. The woman should not have to tell the man. Well, this one lady is going to sum up exactly what everybody says, and I want you to listen to that.
I think bottom line, it's the woman who's pregnant. I mean, we all know this. It's her body, etc., and that mandatorily having to notify the sperm donor is obviously unacceptable.
Okay, so a man it's not a man or a father or a dad, it's a sperm donor.
Right.
That's what he is.
Sperm donator is what she calls him.
No, wait a minute. What if you just said, I think you're just an egg donor. That's all you are.
Well, barefoot pregnant in the kitchen.
Right.
I mean,
wouldn't the house fall in on me if I were to say something like that?
Absolutely.
Why is it okay then just to call all men sperm donors or sperm donators or whatever you want to call them? Why is that acceptable?
It shouldn't be. It's what feminists have been fighting against for...
Supposedly.
Right. Well, no, actually, feminists have been fighting against it.
Right.
Some other people haven't, apparently. The next segment they're going to ask is, should men be able to get counseling when a woman's going to abort their child? And we're going to listen to some back-to-back clips and just let you hear some different ideas. Okay.
I used to read these articles and I used to say, oh, poopsie, too bad for them. And right now I really don't know where I stand. At one point I was really like, who could care about them anyways? I was really angry at a lot of males because I saw them in the clinic. I saw them sitting in the waiting room acting like jerks.
I've had so many men sit and just cry with me that it's very uplifting for me to watch them break down, because I think a lot of men, we do see a lot of these guys sitting and acting like jerks because, like you said, they don't know how to express, they don't know how to feel, and if we shut them out, then we're making them the jerks that they're behaving like.
I think that men should have the ability to go get counseling, but I think it should be by men and that they should have to seek it out themselves. I mean, this is sort of another historical case of women not only taking care of themselves, organizing, get the money, get it legal, and now having to be there to take care of the men too, and that's we've had enough of that.
All right, so we don't really care about them anyway.
Too bad.
Too bad. It's just...
And the recurrent theme here is jerks. I don't know if you caught that, but that's the recurrent theme.
One of the things I found interesting, she said it was uplifting for me to watch them break down.
Right.
She gets her jollies, this one woman gets her jollies off hearing men break down.
I don't understand that either. If you started crying, I would not be happy.
Right. Well, I'm not going to start crying.
Okay, well, that's good. Well, and interesting, I can't let this last statement pass for the last woman makes. She says that men... the women got it legal. Well, I don't know what history she's been reading, but the abortion history that I've read, it was men that got abortion legal, not women.
Right. Because, again, sexually predatory males have always known that a woman's willingness to submit to an abortion is his greatest asset. So clearly it's men who push a legalized abortion.
Okay, this next segment is, they're talking about men in general. Let's listen to what they say.
Excluding the men that I know personally, I don't think that highly of the rest of the male population.
I can't get past the oppression of women by men, and they just tend to be a group.
Even though in adult form we really find them somewhat unbearable, I still, somehow I just want to cling to liking
men and hoping that maybe they can one day offer us something.
All right. Well, it's pretty clear, if it weren't already clear.
Right.
I don't think highly of the rest of the male population.
Right.
Women are impressed by men. I find them somewhat unbearable.
Right.
And the one thing that was interesting to me, the quote that maybe they can one day offer us something. In other words, the man's role, in her view, is only valuable if it offers something to the woman.
Right.
Isn't that, again, one of the philosophies that they claim in the reverse they've been fighting against all these years?
Right.
Right.
And this man, the moderator's going to sum it all up with this last quote.
As a field, we are angry at men. And so when we are confronted with that opportunity to finally tell them, no, you can't do anything about it, there is a part of us that likes that. And that does impact on how we relate to them in this process.
That's it. They're angry.
Right.
And you know something?
They're not like men.
Right. And something that I have brought up in the past, Mona, when we've talked about this particular subject. First off, in the abortion industry, we know it is very dominated by lesbians. We know that. But their problem is not just that they hate men, but they're not going to be happy until all women hate men. That is obviously the goal of all of this. They have this very demeaning view. And if I came out, or any male came out, and said parallel things to all the things we've heard today about women, these people would be in the streets.
Correct.
It's an astonishing situation. Thanks for that report, Mona. It's very enlightening, I think.